Time still on the vast internet, this tale will amaze you. The Zongzi turns into a fireball, whirling 368 tilde in air as if seeking its origin, then zooms straight to its target like an arrow. Seeing the junior still alive, everyone rushed him to the hospital, where the doctors did their best to save his life. However, with internal organ and spinal injuries, he needs further monitoring before a final conclusion can be reached. But when he heard spine, Lao Jin recalled the writing on the wall. The border between North and South Korea is called the human spine. Realizing the connection, Lao Jin quickly drove to the small temple, searching for the treasures left behind by tomb raiders. He opened a drawer and found a Feng Shui notebook, which surprisingly had a group photo of the tomb raiders tucked inside. The back of the photo read Iron Blood Team, calling everyone to protect this land and its comrades. Reading the diary, Lao Jin found they were patriotic Feng Shui masters, not tomb raiders. At this point, Lao Jin understood the true meaning of the fox severing the tiger demon and returned to the unnamed tomb. He intended to dig out iron nails or swords, only to discover the Zongzi had unexpectedly returned. Thankfully, it was daytime, so the Zongzi didn't attack. Back home, Lao Jin called a meeting right away. He said when Korea was undivided, its map looked like a tiger, with the unknown tombstone located at the tiger's lumbar. The Japanese fox Feng Shui master stuck an iron nail in a lumbar spine with the goal of sabotaging North Korea's fortune. Lao Jin said this means the fox cutting the tiger, and Iron Blood Team uncovered its plot then. So they lived in a nearby temple, seeking a chance to remove the iron nail, while the Zongzi's task was to guard it. Lao Jin said if the iron nail couldn't be removed, both Koreas would face annihilation risk. For everyone's future, Lao Jin firmly vowed to pull out the nail, the protecting Zongzi would perish effortlessly. Observing Lao Jin's determination, Yulin and the reincarnation master struggled internally, but ultimately decided to join him on this risky venture. Yulin said though the giant Zongzi was invincible, he could delay for half an hour. For safety's sake, he wrote scriptures all over everyone's faces to intimidate the Zongzi. As they climbed, evening had fallen. They used Zongzi's favorite fish as bait, dropped into a pit and leading to an olive tree. At 2 a.m, a giant Zongzi showed up. It snatched the little fish in one grab, then emerged from the grave, seizing the fish on the ground and munching it down voraciously. Upon seeing this, Yulin immediately lit the prepared mugwort and stuffed it into the old dead tree. The smoke billowing up, the old tree was instantly enveloped. When the Zongzi approached the big tree, it spotted its helmet left in the temple while hearing Yulin disguised as a tree. Subtitles. Meanwhile, Lao Jin and the reincarnation master have already arrived at the wooden pit and begun digging with all their strength. Through communication, Yulin learned that the Zongzi was the 10,000 kills general from WW2, the Fox. Knowing he had died in battle, pieced his body together with those of other generals. Then, they used countless samurai swords to stitch the bodies together, ultimately sewing the general's head to his body. At last, the Fox cursed the corpse, turning it into the strongest Zongzi, trapped in the pit forever. The iron needle they thought was actually the samurai sword stuck in the Zongzi's body. Furthermore, the employer's grandfather was buried here, just a trick by the Fox to deceive future generations. The reincarnation master dug for half an hour, failed to find the needle, and checked if Yulin was in danger. Unbeknownst to him, Lao Jin still believed they could dig up the iron needle, but Yulin was exposed by the Zongzi for dragging his feet. When Yulin thought he'd meet the Grim Reaper, his grandma appeared behind, and he fled. Just then, a battle loomed, and the Zongzi seemed to sense someone moving the wooden pit. The Zongzi, roaring angrily, turned into a fireball and soared skyward. The arriving reincarnation master and Yulin sensed danger and sprinted to the tomb, while Lao Jin kept digging. Lao Jin froze in shock at the fireball above. Despite the reincarnation master's cries to flee, he stood still. This is the kind of move he was doing. This is the kind of move he was doing. This is the kind of move he was doing. This is the kind of move he was doing. This is the kind of move he was doing. Just as Lao Jin was piecing things together, the Zongzi's claw shot toward his belly and stabbed right in. Witnessing this, Yulin decisively instructed the reincarnation master to grab the prepped horse blood and launch it at the Zongzi. The Zongzi instantly broke out in a sweat upon smelling the horse blood and was knocked to the ground. Yulin directed the reincarnation master to lift the horse blood and pound it towards the Zongzi. The Zongzi, sensing the horse blood, developed wisps of white smoke and hurriedly retreated, but Llewellyn didn't know that while the horseblood could injure the Zongzi, it couldn't obliterate it. Just as they checked Lao Jin's wounds, the Zongzi lunged at them from behind, scooping them up like targets. Seeing the three were on the verge of defeat, Llewellyn, with his last breath, said the nail was inside the Zongzi, pinning hope on Lao Jin. Upon hearing this, Lao Jin suddenly realized that since the Zongzi was treated like an iron nail by the fox, its element must be metal. He thought of the I can conquer metal, then picked up a tool to stab at the Zongzi. The reincarnation master, seeing this, also grabbed the tool and charged at the Zongzi, resulting in an instant daze. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe.